Hey guys, welcome back to another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath video commentary. My name is Green Zero, and we are here for another Kane's Wrath video commentary on Ice Arena. We have the big battleship in the middle, which is the centerpiece of this map on the left-hand side, playing as the GDI faction. It is going to be Monopoly of One, aka Next Online Monops. I believe he may be GDI. No, he's Zocom, and his ally over here, YourHorse, playing as a Scrin faction. We'll have to wait and see what his screen faction is. This is, of course, a random mirror, so everyone's gone random. And on the right-hand side, playing as a green GDI faction, we have DVMIR, whatever. He's gonna be Zocom as well. There he goes. He's Zocom, and his ally over here, JakeWhite, aka White Trash. Don't normally cast degenerates, but there's a shortage of replays here, so he's going to end up in this replay. He is a Nod faction. We're not quite sure what type of Nod faction he's going to be, but we have two Zocoms, a Scrin, and a Nod faction here. If we could jump up here, we can see that he is in fact going to be marked of Kane, so Buzz is going to sneak around here. Do we know what YourHorse is? He is Reaper 17, so Reaper 17 and Zocom on the left-hand side. Monopoly of One, Monops, and YourHorse versus the Zocom of DVMIR and JakeWhite playing as the marked of Kane. So here we go, scouting phase is underway. Running over Tiberium is never good for you, and might as well just dig a foxhole in the middle of the Tiberium field, because and then cancel it, so make sure your squad is almost as dead as possible. So there you go, Monops showing us how it's done. He's going to get scouted out himself. No one rushing, of course. If you have Zocoms on your team, I mean, again, Zocom, I've said this before a lot, they're probably the worst faction you can rush with. They have the least amount of rushes, and none of their rushes are super fantastic anyway. It's a really big map, so if we were going to see some rushing, it would have come out of the Nod faction here. Even Reaper 17, while they have some extremely powerful pushes and some extremely powerful rushes, they only work on smaller maps, so this map's simply far too big. Anti-scouting coming down, we can see the tower going down, so he was obviously cleaning something up. He does secure this foxhole here, and that's going to force DVMIR to try to dig that out. He's going to leave that tower there, so that's money which is tied up in the tower, just until he can clear this foxhole. But yeah, everything just pretty chilled right now. Nothing super intense happening. Pitbull will come out, multiple Pitbulls coming out now from Monops here. And YourHorse is probably just going to eco boom. We've got a beacon over here as well. He's going to try to clean up these scouts over there. Monopoly will lose his scout, so it looks like DVMIR still retains a scout in the top right hand side. Will be power microing. Zocom Harvester comes along to help finish that off, and that will be the end of that squad, and he can probably just sell that tower when he's ready. Anti-scouting coming down in here as well. So surprisingly, both sides doing a pretty good job of both scouting and anti-scouting, but there are some pitbulls here now. So these pitbulls did cross the map. That harvester is going to be leaving. The other harvester there tries to dock, but then he decides he's going to leave as well. Probably didn't need to sell the tower, because the tower would have been a bit more powerful if it was left up and running. Unfortunately, since this harvester is full of Tiberium, the fact that it would have been better to let it refine might have been a good idea, because now he's going to lose that Tiberium. Two more harvesters, of course, doing nothing while this is happening, and DVMIR will now get back to work. He's actually being forced to fight with Zocom. Still no vehicles here. What's he doing? He's still got harvesters coming, but he hasn't got anything aside from rifleman squads, which he's drafting, which is again is very unusual. The watchtower would have done a much better job. Two harvesters will fall for just a couple of pitbulls there, so DVMIR really just whiffed that defense pretty hard. Meanwhile, we have some scouts chilling over here. Battle marker over there as well. It is going to be a lightning spike. Unfortunately, there's actually no push with the lightning spike, so he's just put that down. Sometimes Scrin factions will do this just to be annoying with it, so yeah, it forces him to just clean it up, which he will be able to do pretty easily here. But we can see that he actually fast teched. There we go, got a dev tank out as well, just during the fast tech process, just so he has something out, because a single dev tank with some charge will cause a few problems for the other guy here if he tries to push with anything. Dev tanks with the charge, pretty powerful. There is a predator tank here this time, so that's good. Some of these harvesters are damaged. These pitbulls will be pushed back. Monops is just eco booming behind this. DVMIR does have a lot of harvesters here. I mean, he's really built quite a few harvesters. Actually only got 3 on his main. No, sorry, 4. There's a 4th one there, so there you go. It's actually not doing too bad. Mechapeds were coming out. There's actually a lot of damage went down there. What happened then? I'm not 100% sure, but what JakeWhite ran into there, a lot of his Scorp tanks were on fire. Yeah, he must have run into... Oh, maybe the dev tank was there, yeah, because the dev tank is now gone. Yeah, they probably ran into the dev tank and tried to bum rush it, which they were able to do so, but the Mechapedes there, Scorpion Tank's not really going to be enjoying seeing those Mechapedes. Going to see a Zone Shatterer come out here as well. Unfortunately, we'll miss that Pitbull. Pitbull a little bit too quick. We have Pitbulls moving up through the middle here, but you know what? There's a lot of Scorpion Tanks there, and while Pitbulls can pick off fringe Scorpions, once the Scorpions are in a squadron like this, it becomes way too difficult. Zone Shatterer is there. He's going to just go around and through the base. That Harvester will de-dock, and he will be moving around. That's much better control there from... Oh, look at that shot as well. That Sonic shot killed half a dozen Pitbulls in one go, and he unfortunately loses a damaged Harvester there. That Harvester was damaged, but the other one, that was really good maneuverability around the side there. DVMIR doing a much better job of that defense, even though he did lose a unit there. It looks like Monopoly is also going to be building the Zone Shatterers as well. Meanwhile, JakeWhite trying to push these guys back. He does have the Dozer Blade, which is nice. There are 5 Mechapedes here. This is going to be a problem for him. He doesn't get laser capacitors as well. He's going to use a decoy army. He's actually just going to leave that area. Meanwhile, DVMIR is really trying to push. He doesn't have all his units that all spread out, unfortunately, and he might just want to just pull back to the force that he's got here. Now, these units are actually going to get picked off before they can really do a lot. I mean, the War Factory's a little bit damaged. Beacon over here as well. Got the Tib Chem plant, so expect to see some clicks from JakeWhite here. The refs are spread on the right-hand side. JakeWhite is now moving out of his base. Battle markers over here. Mechapedes don't want to go anywhere near those Shatterer tanks. That's going to be bad news bears for those Mechapedes. Super duper vulnerable to the Shatterer tank just because of the way the Shatterer operates. Able to go through all the segments and just one-shot everything. It's not... Oh my god, they're right here. Now, he needs to fight. He's got a move order on them. Why has he got a move order on them? There we go. He does pop a lot of Mechapedes. Somehow, both those Shatterers are still alive. The click will come down as well. We're going to have a pretty big engagement up here. Phase Field will go off straight away. Tibcore is done. But it looks like Horse is just getting absolutely ravaged here. He's actually just pulling back. JakeWhite is trying to kill the Mechapedes. He is getting them. He's got Tibcore bikes. A Shockwave artillery comes down, which is very unusual there. Will disable a lot of tanks, but you know what? Those tanks aren't actually being destroyed. Sonic Emitter there, but the Sonic Emitter does not target the tanks. He should have just targeted the EMP tank. Look at that shot. Oh my god, those... Did you see how many Scorpion tanks went down? And that was huge. More Sonics coming down now. Oh, that was a nice shot as well. Sonics coming from the south. There is a Zone Shatterer there, but I think Monopoly will be able to save his ally, but not after his economy was ravaged there. I'm not sure if he lost a lot of Harvesters. He does have about 6 or 7 on his main, which have rallied back there because, of course, the refs got destroyed. That's really big. By the way, losing those refs, it's going to take him a while. I believe he's got one queued. There we go. He's going to need a second one. A lot of Tiberium to be had. 3 tripods here as well. Does have the shield. Does he have conversion reserves? No, he does not, and he's not researching it, so... there we go. We see a lot of people make this mistake where the conversion reserves just does not get purchased, and it's a critical upgrade here for Reaper 17. Meanwhile, we have a... I'm not sure what these slingshots were for. Were there hammerheads coming out? I don't believe... Oh, no, he's got some... Yes, no, his harvesters are stuck there. Monops is going to want to fix that there. So, pretty unusual in 1.02 plus. That's not a common thing to have happen. Meanwhile, Bike's up here. YourHorse, a little bit slow to respond. He will lose a harvester, pops a bike, but that's a trade that JakeWhite will take any day of the week. Meanwhile, there is a base push coming down here from Monopoly. Did he fix that? No, he didn't fix the... he's actually got a lot of base defenses there as well. I don't think that this base push is going to do very well because his economy would be struggling. Meanwhile, it looks like DVMIR is actually just going to circumvent this. Is he going to... He's going to go forwards as well. Oh my god, he's got multiple MCVs here. He's going to go around and attack the base over here. Meanwhile, JakeWhite wants to try to do a base push, but he's not getting very far just yet. Redeemer is out. His economy is cranking triple ref over there. He will go around. He will find a wall of towers. That's not what he really wants to see. The Zone Shatterers should be able to put this down, but he's actually shooting at the War Factory instead of the towers, and the towers with AP ammo will slowly be able to wear down the force here, unfortunately. He could very easily just one-shot all these towers, and then he would be free to destroy whatever he wants. Still going to target the War Factory. Meanwhile, his MCV is here. It's a double Sonic here from DVMIR, and he's got a Reclamator hub coming down, so that's going to get very interesting very quickly. The War Factory will drop, and he will leave this location. Meanwhile, JakeWhite looks like he's going to go into man spam here, but he's mock. His man spam is the weakest of the 3 Nod factions here, but he's going to do it. Does get the laser field off by the looks of things. DVMIR does have Firehawks, yeah, but unfortunately the laser field was definitely down on the tech center. Not that it matters. I mean, it will stop him from putting Sonic emitters down. He's going to camp the remainder of this Tiberium out, but we do know that there are no, no Juggernauts. Meanwhile, there's going to be a big push up the top. Rage Gen will go off, and he does have supercharged particle, will pop one of these tripods. The tripods are very spaced out here. I'm not sure if that's intentional or what. Still no conversion reserves. A few sonic emitters left over here. YourHorse is going to be hard pressed to defend this. He could get some Spectre artillery and start working his way over here. All he gets his Reclamator hub bombed by the Firehawks, and meanwhile DVMIR's Marv will come out, so I'm not sure how effective the push from Monopoly of 1 is going to be over here. His harvesters have been unbugged for quite some time. Must have fixed that. Oh, big shockwave artillery comes down here, and the tripods, that's cue to go forward here. It looks like Horse may be able to defend this out. If he can get up to the Redeemer, he can EMP, and he's used the stasis as well here, so that is going to completely deny that, and that is shut down with the help of his ally there with the shockwave artillery. That was Q to go forward with the tripods, and he will be causing a lot of damage. Even once this stasis wears off, he should be able to overrun this area. Is he going to charge up his tripods? I'm not 100% sure if he's going to recharge. I'm not sure what they're doing actually. They're kind of just moving around, and now they will be targeting this base head here. I'm expecting that to fall. Meanwhile, what's happening down here, it looks like DVMIR should be able to defend out this area, but we'll keep an eye on what's happening up here. We have a sonic emitter coming down, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to defend this. He's actually starting to wear the tripods down. A lot of rocket squads inside the supercharged particle base defenses here, and he will hold. But again, JakeWhite Trash has the advantage of building artillery units, which he's not actually doing right now. He's just going to try to hold with what he's got. Meanwhile, harvesters are being destroyed. This Marv needs to finish off this sonic emitter. I believe he sold the MCV because I just saw an engineer die, and yeah, definitely hasn't evac'd. He will be able to clean up the remainder of the sonic emitter. That's a powerful Marv, by the way. That's quad zone raider Marv, and that will eat this sonic emitter alive. Meanwhile, beacons up here. Oh, we have Firehawks coming in. They will take out the tech center from YourHorse. He's trying to move his MCV forward. His drone ship will go forward. He's actually defending out this area. There was a bit of a fight breaking out here. I didn't realize this fight was still going to be going. Sonic emitters coming down now. Because he's moved his drone ship forward, it means his ally can now place these sonic emitters down. It's pretty intense now. Those husks there, I'm not sure if anyone's going to be able to get those husks. Look at that, even placing down a photon cannon because he can't build storm columns right now. Gonna try to get the portal down. Another sonic emitter will drop, and it looks like JakeWhite is wearing thin. He doesn't really have any real units left here, and his last base defense is falling now. Firehawks coming in. What are they going to be targeting? Whoa, not sure if they know what they're targeting. What are they targeting? They're getting shot up by these shard walkers. Oh my god, that's terrible. So lucky to lose just one Firehawk there. I'm not sure if he was trying to bomb Huss or what, but it looks like he will be able to defend this area out. That will be defended out. Meanwhile, he's going to be backing up with those guys there. YourHorse does hold this base. He's actually got 5 tripods here and some shard walkers as well. So JakeWhite forced to sell his MCV. He didn't even attempt to evac with that. Well, he's got a second MCV, by the way, but what has he got left? He literally has nothing to his name right now, and we can see no money as per the refineries there. He's going to have to rely on DVMIR, who's got a rig out. Will repair his Marv back up to full health. The Marv wouldn't be surprised if it pops a veterancy very shortly, because we did know it did a lot of work down here earlier on. And DVMIR still with economy to his name. We'll be calling in the GDI airborne. Has a lot of infantry squads just chilling here, by the way. But he is going to be relying on his Firehawks to do some damage. The problem is that Horse still has a reasonable amount of Tiberium at his disposal and a reasonable army at the moment. So he's going to just build that. And he's going to come in, drops 4 bombs. That's enough to destroy that. He's still got some bombs left over, and he will take out a power plant. It's an unusual bombing run. You could have just done, you split them in half instead of trying to micro perfectly when the bombs are dropped there. So it's a lot easier just to divide your Firehawks between targets. Even if there's a little bit of an overkill, he would have got the same result, but it just would have been easier. We have one veteran Firehawk here as well, so DVMIR is going to be the one with the army on the right-hand side. Monopoly doesn't really have an army himself. Harvesters are actually just left here at the moment because there's really nothing to do. Sometimes people will do that. Firehawks coming up, where are they going? They're over here. Will DVMIR notice? Does he have missile loadout? No, he does not have missile loadout. Oh my god, that was devastating. He almost lost his Firehawks there. Does he have missile loadout? We're going to have to see what he's going to do with these ones here. Meanwhile, he did bomb something that might have been the Space Command, which is a critical structure for this at this stage in the game. Firehawks moving back. Those are Monopoly's Firehawks, so they're just rallying around the enemy units now. Beacon coming in, that will probably be for the Orca strike here, and that will come in to try to do some damage. But yeah, the Firehawks are going to be leaving, and the repair tool is down. He's actually got missile loadout there, so unfortunately he just uses all his missiles on that relatively cheap support power. That could give Monopoly the opportunity to fly in and use his own missiles. It's going to come down to who can shoot the other one down. Both sides have 4 Firehawks. We could be seeing an air war break out very shortly And with Zocom, it's very intense because, of course, you don't have a lot of ammo and everyone has a lot of armor, so it just is a bit awkward when they fight each other. So I'll do my best to try to catch when that happens. A lot of sonic emitters, shadows, actually only 3 of them, mainly infantry making up this force here. Now JakeWhite has, whoa, okay, so he's just managed to pump out a pretty large army of bikes. So there you go. Did he sell? He sold up all of his tech and his MCV to get this out. I guess maybe he was worried he was going to get attacked. Battle marker over here. What is Monopoly doing? What was that? There's just a Marv here and EMP grenades. Okay, we're going to see the support power come down now, and White Trash is going to join in as well. Battle marker up the top, but I'm not sure. I don't think that's very important here. And yeah, there's no way this Marv is history. See you later, unless he can get a phase field down, which he will not. That's a very easy cleanup. Meanwhile, what was happening up there? No, it's just nothing really. It's just White Trash just messing around. That was just. There's all this infantry here as well. Where was this infantry? Why was the Marv out there by itself? That was, yeah, one of the easiest cleanups you'll ever see. Monopoly just gift wrapping his Marv and handing it across to DVMIR as a Christmas present. This is the guy who was trying to give me tips before. But, yeah. Monops is okay. He's just a bit of a mid, and he just needs to remember that. Oh, man. The egos here, so... Anyway, we're probably going to see another relatively large fight here. I'm not sure what DVMIR is splitting his Marv up there. He doesn't really want to split his Marv. Too thin, we're going to see some units over here, even calling in these harvesters, because there's not a lot of Tiberium left. There is going to be a fight here. The Marv is a little bit too far back, to be honest. Yeah, why I'd want the Marv to be here. Battle markers over here. We can see Firehawks maybe causing some problems. I'm not sure what's happening with the Firehawks. Beacons over here as well. JakeWhite is here. Horse may need to come down and help him out. DVMIR still holds his Firehawks. They are still here. Monop still has his Firehawks. I'm not sure where they are. They're actually just floating around over here. So both sides being very cautious with their air units here. Monopoly have one another beacon over here as well. He finds a tripod. No conversion reserves done from Horse just yet. Does have these going for an upgrade now. I wouldn't be surprised if it was blue shard or shard launchers or something like that, but he definitely needs conversion reserves. JakeWhite has a large army of bikes here. Now the bikes are paper thin armor, so, or basically no armor, so if they go up against these tripods, they're dead, but if they can get around, they would be able to do a lot of damage. I think DVMIR is going to get sandwiched because we can see that Monopoly is behind him. There's the stasis. There's actually not a lot of units here to save the Marv, and these tripods will actually be able to come forward. Meanwhile, there's a fight over here. Yeah, he's actually shooting his army in the back, which are trying to rally up here. JakeWhite is not in position to help defend this. He's quite some distance to the right-hand side of this force here. Is he going to come in and commit? Meanwhile, DVMIR's army, there are units caught outside of the stasis. Whoa, that was a huge EMP, by the way, but it's not going to matter because he's got the tripod within range. Will EMP the Marv? Battle markers over here, but yeah, that Marv is history. We can see the Firehawks are doing something. I'm not 100% sure, but the Marv is gone, unfortunately, in a very dangerous situation there. JakeWhite not able to do anything in that situation because if he drove in there, he probably would have got pretty much trashed himself. So DVMIR just got stuck between those two armies. Probably was not a good idea. Meanwhile, Monopoly has his Marv out. We have 4 Firehawks here from him. 3 Firehawks, so we lost a Firehawk somewhere along the line. There might have been a Firehawk fight. They're going to be really hard to catch, by the way, especially with so much happening on the ground here. JakeWhite will be pulling back. Battle marker over his sniper teams. Not sure why they're there. I think maybe to thin the infantry out that was being sent from Monopoly. But both sides just chilling right now. To be honest, YourHorse could very easily move out right now. This infantry force could go with him. That would be very difficult to stop. JakeWhite has managed to spam out some infantry forces here, so that will definitely help him because, of course, tripods are not good against infantry. This infantry will be a problem. We'll have to bring in the Shard Walkers, and he doesn't actually have a lot of those either. He will be solely relying on perhaps the forces on the ground here, but there are sniper teams coming in here, and they do pick off some of the infantry here. If DVMIR sends those up to the north, he could help defend, but DVMIR just surrendered. Oh my god, these Firehawks were left there, and JakeWhite just gave up. Oh, so that was a bit anticlimactic. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see a huge end fight there. So that was That was a little bit unfortunate. I thought there was going to be a big fight at the end at some point in time, but it looks like DVMIR decided, you know what, I mean, DVMIR had nothing. He had nothing left at all, and I guess he just decided with no Tiberium, he'd just tap out. And JakeWhite, I guess, seeing his ally gone, I mean, he could have fought on. He had a sizable force, and with the units and the structures left behind by DVMIR, he could have sold that off for a lot more, and there would have been a pretty big fight, but he would have been hard-pressed to win the game. So if we go to resources, pretty much even across the board. What more could you ask for? Both sides wouldn't be surprised if it's just a few $1,000s. Yeah, $321,000 to $318, $3,000 in it, so it was anyone's game there. But yeah, DVMIR definitely was probably doing a bit better on the right-hand side team, whereas it's hard to say. YourHorse did pretty good, but YourHorse really never left his base, even though he could have. So that was a nice fight. I think I will upload this game just so you guys have something to watch. But don't forget to check out my stream as well. Doing a lot of streaming very regularly. I want to do more of that. Do my best to bring you some more videos as well. But my name is Green Zero, and I'll catch you all in the next video.